Show us your tips. Daggy Beaver back with you. Weekend preview time. We've got a cracker to look at with Group 1, 4 Group 1s actually. Day 1 of the championships is where I was heading. One of the better cards you'll see. It looks like we've got, all systems go for 10 great races at Randwick. Pretty good card from Caulfield as well. Pretty exciting times, Beaver.
Yeah, excellent. Good times, mate. After a disappointing cancellation last Saturday of the meeting that was rerun on Tuesday, so our sort of tips still stood there, but a bit of controversy there, and was disappointing for that to be cancelled on the Saturday. But some good outcomes and expected outcomes on the Tuesday.
Yeah, I was not happy at all, but anyway, it's a week ago now. I've moved on with my life, but a lot of it's been said in public forums. We don't need to rehash it, but I thought it was pretty ordinary to be cancelled after only about 20 mil. I don't think I got much through the afternoon. Anyway, we're at Randwick now.
Anything from takeout on Tuesday for those races that were rerun?
I think we're going to get some form reversals at Randwick.
Yes.
That's the main thing. I think you can forgive a lot. And what was the features there?
Well, there was some puzzling rides. Chow Wolf just got up. Lazura, Tommy Berry at his best there. Absolute the butcher of the year on that run. Treasure of the Moment was good again. And Dubai Honour stamped its class, albeit the ride on Vauban again was, equally as bad than the Zero. Not saying it would have won, but I don't understand when you've got a horse that can stay all day, where you don't put it into the race and let them sit and sprint on you. Just made no sense to me.
Particularly given how the track played up to that point, where
and you had to be on the pace anyway.
Exactly. So, and there was some baffling rides, but there has been for the last month.
Yeah, I just couldn't understand why Vauban wouldn't want to put it into a true staying test with a horse like Dubai Honour rather than let him sprint at the 200. It was always going to beat it if that was the way it panned out. It was just, dumb ride, but pretty much what I expect from some of these blokes these days.
I actually handled the race quite well because my only bet was Duke de Cess replace. So I felt, because I couldn't split the other two, and I felt pretty comfy the whole way around, actually. So
when it was leading and running well until it got taken on, but it was a good run.
Yeah.
But again, the way the race was run to suit. But so we move on to Randwick Saturday. As you mentioned, a good card and hopefully a few winners, which we have been in pretty decent form of recent times.
Indeed. We're going to get a good track too, I think. It's currently soft 6, but it's just meant the hoses have stayed away since last weekend. So rail true, I think all things being equal, it should be a good betting day. We're going
Let's hope so.
Kick off with the 1100 metre 2-year-old race, Kindergarten Stakes, with some Golden Slipper form leading in. How is that where you've gone? Or are you looking for some fresh blood?
I'm looking for some fresh blood, to be honest, Adrian. None of these that are backed up after the slipper, were really stood out with their slipper run here. So I'm going to go for the number 6, Beska from the Freedman stable. Only had the one start, was very heavily backed, started short and won quite comfortably, put out after that, resuming here. I suspect this has been set up for this, stayed away from the other races. I got it on top, 550 is a good price. So that's the way I'm leaning here.
I've gone the same way, and I've gone for another first start. I've gone for a first starter, in fact, in Sylph. It's 20-1. I really like both its trials here. They spent a bit as Yearling. They found Damien Lane first up, and I just think it pops in a nice run, and it's just eaten the ground up in its jump outs to date. So I'm going to spec it at a price, and I think North England is fully exposed now. I don't think it's going to get any better. I think King of Pop would be the one out of the slipper I was going to entertain as a danger if I did. And I didn't quite know where to line Beska up because it was off a Geelong maiden, but pretty impressive. So could be on the right track there. But I think it's worth a 20-1 little stab to start the day there, which is sort of the theme of the day. There's a few we can really nail in on, and there's a few races I just want to set up and cover 2 or 3 and see how we go to price. But the second is the 2,000 metre Adrian Knox Stakes, and another one I found here bringing some different form line is Belle de Tel for the Waller Yard. It did some nice things in Melbourne, including a second to Chamois a few runs back, had a nice win. They've brought it to Sydney. They've had 2 stone cold trials since the 6-week let up. Damien Lane once more gets a good run here, and another one. I'm just looking for something different because that Dominator race at Kembla I'm not convinced on. And the rest of these are midweek runners. So at $12, we'll find out again. And, Polymnia will run well. Now it's broken through. And the fact that Dominator does lead maybe puts it in this race, but it's far too short for me right at this moment. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I've gone for Polly, number 9, to run a good race here. I like now that it has broken through, and that was done in fine style. I think that might have now unlocked it. I think it's definitely the one to beat. It's drawn well enough, but I think you're right. There is a few interesting runners here around the $10 mark. You've mentioned Bell Detel. I think Exclusive Artist from the Nisham stable is another one that you could have a look at, as well as the 2 Mar runners, Mr. Lexus and Amplify. I think they're not without a chance as well, but I'm sticking with the favourite here. I think all things being equal, it can get another win.
The third is a Group 2 staying contest, 2,600, the chairman's quality. Alalcance went like a machine last time. Is there any reason to change?
There's no reason to change here, I wouldn't have thought. Look, it seems to get the gun draw again from gate 4. It can posse up wherever it wants here. This field's, fairly similar. The only smoky is Desert Hero, the overseas horse, but it hasn't won for a while.
It doesn't have the form that the other Haggis runners have had the last few years.
That's right. And so based on just the exposed form here from Alalcance, looks a pretty straightforward bet to me. And, probably get the chocolates.
Well, you think it's going to be peaking third up. It's my best of the day. Complete control, not much to add, really. Waltham has gone to Queensland and broken through finally, so it might be the different form that can run to a place. And I'm respecting the connections with Desert Hero, but it didn't leap out to me from what I could find on it. The fourth is the Carbine Club Stakes. Swift Falcon is $1.80, also accepted for the Doncaster. Not sure it gets a run there yet, but that said, I'm taking it on. Going to back Evaporate. Went over to the couple of $1 million race and ran well in New Zealand. Comes back here. It's trialled since. Blake Shin's going to ride. It could probably lead or sit outside lead if it wanted to. The Gay Bot horse will push forward there. Just looking at this map. And it's we're doing here 380. It's a bit of money for it since then. I like the horse, always have. And Swift Falcon's going to be out the back. It's probably going to run into a place. But frankly, I'm pretty much off Tyler Schiller. Full stop at the moment. So with Evaporate and Hawks, the double there, and they've got plenty to come today. But I'm taking it on. I think I'm fairly keen. Evaporate's going to run a race.
I'm with you. Evaporate is a horse that I also like and have tipped many occasions. Probably most starts it's had, except for the Cox Plate. And I'm going to stick here. With Swift Falcon or starting without it, I think it probably becomes one of the better bets on the card. But clear on topper for me and hard to beat.
The fifth is the Country Championships final, over 1,400 metres. Who have you found in this one?
Yeah, interesting little race here.
Good race.
What's that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't say good, but it's very interesting. You're right.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think there's many chances, to be honest, if they bring their best form. The 1 and the 7, the 2 in the market seem to hold the key here. I'm going for the 7, Know Thyself. Third up here, wasn't too bad first up. Turned that around and won comfortably second up. I think gate 11 is perfect here. Can get to the middle of the track. And if it brings any improvement to last start, it's going to be right in the finish here. I think around the $4 mark is a nice little bet.
I've flipped them. I've got Gallant Star on top. Smashed them. I think it was this race last year or the equivalent in the spring. Smashed them. It's gone away. It's won every trial since. It's had a soft win at Coonamble. It'll be aimed for this. So it's on top for me. You mentioned the other one. The only bet I've actually already had all day is Sumo Fish, who comes off a Metropolitan fourth behind Majude, and it was 100 to 1. I actually took that this morning. And you can forgive Tribeca Star for your early quaddies. It should have won it. It says 10th, I think, in the form guide. It should have won that race at the Gold Coast. I think that's it. There's not much else for me in the rest of these. Interesting race, but we can single out those couple, I think. The 6 is the first of the Group 1s, first of 4 Group 1s on the card. The English Sires for the 2-year-olds as they get out to 1,400 metres.
And I know what you're tipping.
Number 1?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me why?
Oh, mate, you were all over it in the slipper. You thought it'd be a big chance there.
It was almost the run of the race in the slipper. It was a great run.
It was almost the run of the race. It was dead last, got the run through, was finishing the hardest, 1,400 suits. You're not a big fan of the favourite. And it looks a standout here. You've got to probably go for the Sydney form. There is a couple of horses from Melbourne that have shown a bit of promise. Vinrock and Prestige Forever, I think, are those two. But yeah, if you put a bit of a line through the two, I think the one is the ideal. It probably won't be as far back this time, given the draw from gate 6. So it passes into the running line. It's only 1,400's right up its alley, 10 in the field. $4 is a good bet.
Yeah, well done. That's good from me. I'll move on.
I'll let you go first. I'll let you have a go next
thanks.
one.
Vinrock's going to run well. I think it's a nice horse. And State Visit will improve. They're the only other two I'd mention. But, yeah, nothing more to add. Beavers covered that perfectly. Very nice horse here. The quaddie kicks off with a cracking TJ Smith Stakes. When the field first came out, I was a bit underwhelmed. But when you actually look through the form, this is outstanding. This is a really good race. 1,200 metre, as I said, Group 1. And I'm going to go with one at 20s on top. I'm going to tip Kimochi. I love that resumption over 1,000. Nash is stuck. It's got a swooper's gate, and it's $26. I think it has to be a bet here. It's never missed a place to track and distance. There's lots of other ticks. I've got it on top from Jimmy Starr. I don't know what the hell happened in the William Reid, but it will improve greatly here. Gate 9 swoopers as well by this stage of the game, I think, puts it in the race. And Overpass is just a ripper. It'll be in the right spot. But you could tip any horse in this race, and I wouldn't argue with it. I think this is sensational. Looking forward to see how it plays out. Who have you found, though?
Yeah, love the race. Love a lot of these horses. They're quality animals. Kimochi's not one that has caught my attention. To be honest, I find it hard to catch. But so I've put a line through it, but won't turn any of the punters off that follow Daggy. I'm going to stick with Jolie's Star. Purely because I backed it last start, but I have backed a lot of these last start. But that was sensational down the straight there. I think it bounced back to its best. If it reproduces that third up, I suspect it's even fitter here. Gate 4 is ideal. It probably hopefully sits about 1 out, 2 back in the running here. And I think at some stage it will hit the front and something will have to come over the top of it. Having said that, Jimmy Star I'm super scared of it. First up was brilliant. Second up was just as brilliant, but given no chance in the way that track played. So Randwick suits the 1,200. We know Jimmy Star can get the 1,400, 1,600, no problem, but just seems to be racing quite brilliant at the moment over the shorter course. So I've got it as a main danger. And Sunshine in Paris, that was a great run first up.
Yeah.
I think it'll take a lot of benefit from that. So super scared of it as well. But Briasa is a good horse. We just don't know how good yet. That was an outstanding run first up. Had the wide barrier, had to go back, and still did plenty in the run to the post. Gate 3's perfect here. Carrying 58 against and giving some weight to a horse like Jolie's Star. Not so sure about just yet, or Sunshine in Paris, but again, wouldn't rule it out. But as you say, Overpass, a quality animal. It's going to be somewhere in the finish. And you've got horses like Magic Time in Switzerland. How good. It's going to be a great race.
Absolutely. The other feature on the card is the Doncaster Mile. For those that have followed the show for the last 5 and a bit years, they'll know it's one of my favourite races on the calendar. And this is another very interesting rendition. Who do you like in this, Beef?
Again, another great race here, and some of my favourite horses are running again here, 2 in particular. I'm going to stick with number 2, Gringotts. I tipped it last start, didn't let me down, won well in probably a better race, better company than this, and you're getting a better price at $6.50. So gate 6, perfect. It can sit where it wants here. Again, hopefully, just in behind the lead, and it will hit the lead somewhere in the straight. I'm dead certain of that. My other horse that I do like, another Will. Again, you're getting nearly double figure odds on a horse that's taking care of Mr. Brightside. That's, again, for me, something you can't pass by. I know it's got gate 18, and that's a huge concern. May come in with a scratching or two, but it'll probably go forward and try and find a spot, and hopefully it can get some cover if it is caught 3 wide. That's the bit of the concern there. So they're the two that I've settled on, but plenty of other chances. But some of the ones that are, you probably can't find some of these ones deeper in the market here, but they're the two that I've got on top. But Tom Kitten, Firestorm, I like. Linebacker, I'm willing to take on, probably favourite because it's got 49 on its back. But this is a true test against the older horses.
The Randwick Mile, these big fields, wide gates often get the job done. And I think another Will is going to get to a silly price tomorrow. I think
it is.
You might get sort of mid-teens, and if it does, I'll be all over it. It's probably my best result. That said, I like Firestorm. I think it's building nicely. I trust Waller as a grand final trainer a bit more than the linebacker stable. I've got that linebacker as the main danger. I'd almost really be keen to declare it if it was we'll say a higher profile jockey on Firestorm, but I'm going to be covering Firestorm, linebacker from gate 14. Zach Lloyd, I think, can be in the finish, and another Will. As I said, gets out to a good price. But there are other chances. Gringotts gets the best run in the race and is very scary. Tom Kitten, I want to like, but gate 1 just seems awful for it. But
who knows? Could open up.
It could. Great race. Another one. Looking forward to seeing how that all pans out. We'll get to the quaddie numbers soon. The Derby, the 4th of the Group 1s, is next, 2,400 metres for the 3-year-olds, and I'm going to go with the Kiwi visitor here in Willie Do It.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I know. I'm just a slut for these horses. Mickey D comes off smashing them in the NZ Derby, pops up here. I think it might drift. They might try and take it on, but it's on top from Chanois, who I've been with the whole way through, and it's $10. I was actually a little bit floored the fact it's come up double figures, and will be my best result. They'll be the two main ones I play, and I will also forgive Confetti Garden last week. It was a weird run on a weird track, and it's 50-1. So that'll be my third number. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I'm going to go Willie Do It as well. I like when they bring these Kiwis here for these types of races that has this form line. I know 2 starts back had the wipeout, but around that has been sensational. Got Mickey D aboard here. This will be in the finish. I've got no doubt about it. It's my on topper. I'm willing to take on Aliana. Again, good run last start, but I don't know, might have been flattered a little bit there. Had the right run, had the right sit.
Yeah, I agree.
Just not sure. It was good last start, but the 2 before probably could have expected to do more. You're right, Chanois. I was surprised $10 as well. This horse is flying at the moment. It's going to be probably in the lead, near the lead. You'll get a good sight for your money. So I got it as the main danger, but yes, some chances down in the weights. Something can always bob up that handles the 2,400, but somewhat.
Yeah, there's horses here that feel like 2,400 metre horses before Aliana. I think 2,400 lead up around the favourite is what really sold me there. Yep. The PJ Bell wraps us up. 3-year-old fillies, and I thought Clean Energy was outstanding last time at Moonee Valley against the bias. Finished, stormed over the top and won. I know it's Ryan Moore riding, but look, I won't say anything negative about him. I think it gets the job done again. We'll move on. The other Kiwi Raider will make the Danger Love poem resumed with a win. Would be my better bet. Would be my best on the day if it wasn't for the jockey there. But anyway, what have you found?
I've gone the same way, Clean Energy, but it will be my best of the day. That was outstanding, and I'm really keen to take the $2.70 because this is a pretty average race outside of it. It's a quality horse. And I did have the Kiwi as the main danger because just don't know a lot about it and was good first up. But clear on top for me, Clean Energy. No problem with Ryan Moore.
Beautiful. My quaddie for Derby Day. First leg, we're going to go wide and see if we can get a split or two. First leg, number 1, Overpass, 2, Jimmy Star, 5, Briasa, 6, Sunshine in Paris, 7, Jolie Star, 8, Magic Time, and 10, Kimochi. Second leg, 1, Another Will, 2, Gringotts, 3, Tom Kitten, 19, Firestorm, 20, Linebacker, and I suppose we'll put Swift Falcon in just in case down the bottom there, but if he runs earlier, that comes out. Will he do it? Third leg, number 1, 3, The Doctor of Love, 4, Chanwa, 13, Confetti Garden, and 18, Aliana. I'm almost tempted to leave her out and throw Sisyphus in instead, but we'll go through. We'll come home and skinny it up with 1, Clean Energy, 5, Love Poem, 7, Flying for Fun, just because it will probably lead the last. You get I think it's about 17% for $100. With a couple of scratchings, you might get the better side of 20. My best, race 3, number 3, Alalcance, but I do think Clean Energy should win the last. My value, race 4, number 10, Kimochi. What about yourself?
Yeah, my best is race 10, number 1, Clean Energy. And my value bet is in race 8. I like number 2, Gringotts, and Another Will. So I think there's value in both of those. You can take both and get out on the day.
Just like as I said earlier, a great day just to have a couple of races with 2 or 3 in your favour and drill down on those couple of favourites we suggested there. Looking forward to seeing it all pan out. You can get the written copy of this on showusytips.net as well. Go check that out and check in throughout the afternoon if you need a refresher. In the meantime, we're going to head to Caulfield where the rail goes out 9 metres. Apparently some drizzle around today and tomorrow, but I think it should be still a dead track. Well, who knows what we get with some of those tracks down there at the moment, but I'm hoping running line's okay with the rail like that far. We kick off with the Reduced Choice Stakes 1100 metre listed race here, and this favourite's a nice horse, Scenic Point. It's in $1.50 now. Got the job done, looks stylish. I think it does the same again. I actually think if there's a danger, it's the stablemate Latin Boss, who started in the market against Time to War. On debut, had an issue. It's trialled well since. That horse that's been scratched down the bottom, Scaljmo, has gone to Adelaide, so keep an eye on that as well. Who do you like?
Yeah, can't go past the favourite here from the Hayes stable, Scenic Point. Good first start win. Clear on top, maybe a bit skinny, but best way to start the day.
The second is a benchmark 74 over 1,200 metres. You found anything here?
Going to stick with the favourite as well here from the McAvoy stable. That was a good first up run. Came from well back behind what I think is a decent horse. The overseas raider Tatsamuki wouldn't have needed much further to get the chocolates there. So if he can reproduce that, it should be winning this.
Agree. Very, very hard to beat. I like the price around Ironton, even though it's from our good friend the Hawks Yard. I think it is a nice horse and a good kick-off point, albeit off a long spell. I wouldn't want to take too much shorter than what it currently is, though. And one at value for your exotics is the resuming La Deschard at the top there. I think it's a big price for a horse that likes winning, which some of these don't necessarily participate in too much.
No.
The third is a mile benchmark 78. My best on the card comes up here with the gay runner Jess Glamourous. I liked its first up win. I liked the fact it pulled up lame, still finished second at Warwick Farm, and you could see it noticeably lame. So I'm assuming it's come through that well. It's had a blowout, jump out, going the other direction, and it leads this race. And it leads a race without too many chasers on top for me. Who else do I want to talk about? Electric Bell's a real line chaser. Got the job done for Beaver last time out. Will make it the danger here. What have you found?
Yeah, look, I've gone for Just Glamourous purely because it's coming with the Sydney form, and you're right, it gets control here. Probably leads them and jiggy jogs up front like they do in Melbourne, and probably hard to catch. But Electric Bell does worry me. I did tip it last start. I'm not sure these horses win 3 in a row all that often, but it's got the 1 gate, so it could just sit in behind, and the 3 kilo claim helps, but the other one's got 52.5. So it's essentially giving about 6 kilos to it, or 5 kilos to it. that's why I've gone that way. But could see the result reversed. Wouldn't shock me.
The fourth is a 1400-metre benchmark 70. Who have you come up with?
Look, interesting race here. I've gone for number 2, Hughes. Gets a 3 kilo claim here, third up, and is flying at the moment. The gate 18 is a bit of a concern, and certainly worries me here. But that's probably why you're getting the 550. But I like the win last start. Sat behind a good horse, Astral Flame, goes all right. And chased hard and hit the line hard there. And the start before that did the same behind Paradise City, who's got a bit of ability as well. I think it might run well in third up's perfect, has a good trainer. And I found it hard to find or like anything else in the race. So I got it on top. Biggest concern's the barrier, but could run well.
Yeah, track. Well, we hopefully have an idea on track pattern by race 4. I put Pure Alpha on top. I thought that was a decent enough resumption. Not a particularly, not a horse that's been one of mine, but I liked, as you mentioned, the Tatsumaki form. Looks pretty good here, so I'll go with it. I think Hughes is a chance, and Grid Girl next best, who I'm forgiving the Adelaide failure where it just pulled out of the race there. I think it's better than that. 2,400 metre listed race is up next. This is for the 3-year-olds. And Statuario should win this. I think it's going really well. It's worked into this prep nicely. It's also followed a little bit through its career. And if it's ever going to win a race, as I've said, for some of these sort of setups, this is it. So on top for me, I struggled to really find a danger. So we'll leave it at that. What have you found?
Yeah, it's the same. This is the right race for it and gets its best chance here. It's run, last couple of starts have been in Group 1, Group 2, only a couple of lengths behind Chenois. So that's great form for a race like this. Gets out now to the 2,400. This is ideal here. Great, perfect draw, average field. Needs to be winning this, or it's good night, Irene, for it.
The 6 is a benchmark 82,000 metres. I think it's been good night, Irene, for a few of these, but who's going to win?
Yep. And based on that, I've stuck with the favourite here, Kings Valley, who just seems to be the horse doing all the right things at the moment. The others have just got no form. It's $3.50, gets a 3 kilo claim, so 59.5. It's got the right stable, and it's been running behind the likes of Revelar. Freshened up for this, came to Sydney, won at Sydney. I'm kind of confused by $3.50, to be honest, against this field. Is it because it's got the 59.5? But good horse weight in an ordinary field.
Yeah, it's on top. Again, struggled to find too many dangers. You've covered it pretty well. If I had to name any, I guess the Mozu Marcassin at least likes getting its nose in front more than most of these. That'll be the main danger for me. But
I think we can get a kick in those 2 races for the bigger races in Sydney about that time.
Exactly. So very nice way to nurse through the afternoon there. The quaddie is a 1,200 metre handicap up next for the 3-year-old fillies. And I've got Michaela on top. It crossed the line with 2 Group 1 horses last time out, Clean Energy and Amelita. So it was pretty easy to find. Ran well there. Before that, had a pretty soft win. Goes on top. And I'm just interested to see these 2. We've lost Lovely Cat, but interested to see the 2 Yulong resumers here. Soft Love, unbeaten, and Rockin' at Midnight went out with a nice win for Waller, and will make them the 2 dangers. But another good bet, actually. What have you found?
Yeah, I was a bit worried that's a bit of a trap. It was a good run last start and had won well in the soft going before that. But look, not without a chance. I was going down to look at something, a couple of the horses around that $8, $9 mark. I came up with Chewing Gum from the Hay Stable. I thought first up was pretty good. Got back and ran on okay at Pakenham. But last time when in work, started favourite against a horse called Treasure the Moment last year. So, and I think finished about third or something like that, about 4 lengths behind it. That's pretty good form for this. So I've got a big eye out on watching it, and I think it could pop up in a race like this, drawn well. So I've got it on top as value, but yeah, Michaela, the one to watch.
The 8th is the Easter Cap, 2,000 metres. What are you doing here?
Yeah, pretty keen. Number 10 Cilacap can continue on its winning way. That was a good win last start. It's also got treasure the moment form, but I watched that race and I was on Two Darn Lizzie. Actually, as we said, we were pretty keen on it. I thought it was tracking well, Two Darn Lizzie, but I watched Cilacap in the run and I thought, if this gets out, I was sitting there going, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in.
Yeah.
But the horse on the outside of Two Darn Lizzie just folded and it got the right run and it was dead in the water. I thought Two Darn Lizzie was a bit disappointing, to be honest, given the run it had. But the other thing had it pegged a long way out, I thought, as long as it was given a run. And I think it'll be further improved by that. The extra 400, I think, is ideal. It looked a big gangly type thing that sort of was still learning a lot. And if it can improve again, I think it's clearly on top here. $6 is a good bet.
Agree. Yeah, it's another winner, so I'm going to stick with them. What I want to talk about apart from that, Basilina, I think, is an underrated horse that came back well, and Future History chased prior to Jenny last time out. It'll do better here, but $6, good price. I agree. The Victoria Handicap is the second last on the card, 1,400 metres, and I'm going to cover. I'm not going to cover much at all. I like Miss Aria. It's had 3 runs at 1,100. I don't know why it stayed at that distance so long. And they haven't been bad runs. I just don't think it's been necessarily suited. Blinker's going first time. Draws a middle gate. Gets Harry Coffey, who's one of the better jockeys on the program, to be honest. And you're getting an each-way price. So it's on top. I think Superazzi's a little ripper that has been running in far better races. And this is the old race for it to win if it can still do so. But I've been on a place plenty of times and made plenty out of it. So it's the danger. Chorlton Lane will do its usual thing where it gets too far back and flashes home. Yeah, interesting race, but I think Miss Aria can bounce back here. What are you doing?
Interesting race, and a few that you've just mentioned, I've tipped recently, and I'm done with them, namely Chorlton Lane and Miss Aria.
That's fair enough, yeah.
But that scares the shit out of me because I know what happens when I do these things. I'm sticking with Superazzi. I think this is the race for it. I'm a big fan of the trainer. Second up here, gets the right draw. Jockey a bit of a question mark, but as we know, that's some lesser jockeys on the card here. I got it on top, hardest to beat in what is a super open race.
And the last, we stick to 1,400 metres. We had a benchmark 84 level. How are you coming home?
Jesus, was a hard way to come home, wasn't it?
Yes.
I wouldn't want to be chasing anything coming into this. LMU was good last start, was a nice win. Bit skinny at 350, I think. I'm going for the 17, Paradise City. It's just been ultra consistent of late. Again, bit of a question mark over the gate, 17, but probably needs to come forward. And a horse like Regal Amazon's probably going to hopefully drag it across and do something and hopefully get the sit there or be able to take it on. So I got it on top and hardest to beat.
Carbonados on top. It's been a set outside lead last time out and was pretty good there. Gets the blinkers, and I think there's a bit more pace that will come across and give it a better setup than it had before. So I'll stick with it. From Porter, who did a good job over in Adelaide, but again, those outside gates are a bit of a concern. We'll see how the track plays. And I'll revisit your horse because 20 races in, I probably stopped about number 16 and didn't look at number 17 there. So maybe it's needs to be re-examined. But a tough race to finish the day. What are your quaddie numbers?
Yes, my quaddie numbers. In the first leg, race 7, in no particular order, I'm going number 5, Michaela, number 3, Certain Rise, number 9, Thames, number 10, Chewing Gum, and number 8, Soft Love. In the third leg, race 8, I'm going number 6, Poison Chalice, number 10, Cilacap, and number 1, Future History. In the third leg, I'm going number 8, Superazzi, number 11, Regal Zeus, number 9, Roll on High, number 13, Miss Aria, and number 4, Globe. And in the last leg, I'm going number 9, LNU, number 1, Modown, number 15, Carbonadas, number 17, Paradise City, and number 6, La Ferrari.
Very good. Your best in value.
My best bet comes up in race 8, number 10, Cilacap, at about $6.
Nice.
Pretty keen on it. Don't think you'll get that. And if you do, good luck to you. And my value bet is in race 7, number 10, Chewing Gum.
My best, race 3, number 13, Just Glamourous. My value, Miss Aria, race 9, number 13 as well. What's happening in Queensland?
Yeah, got 3 for us up in
Tough card.
Queensland. Very tough card, heavy track. So a bit concerned there. But race 1, number 2, Profoundly, from the Freedman stable. A little skinny, but I think it will get us off to winning ways. Then my other bets came up later in the day. I had race 5, number 5, Anna McCoy.
Anna McCaw, yeah.
I thought that would be hard to beat. And then later in the day, race 8, number 15, Rhythm of Love. I think it can run well.
Beautiful. Couple from Adelaide. Race, that horse I mentioned before. Race 4, number 10, Skulgmo. Interested that it's gone over there to debut. And race 7, number 1, Stay Focused. Off a nice win in Melbourne's gone over the border. Great betting day. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to a beer or two tomorrow, Beaver. So I will see you then.
Shout.
Sounds good. I expect nothing less. And good luck tomorrow, punters. Great day's racing. We'll be back to do it all again this time next week. See ya.
Cheers, mate.